In a world where news flies around every minute, you need the ability to relate and connect with what matters and stay up to date. Schengen Story Media News Echoes program is Africans in Diaspora and at Home's leading English news network, one of the most trusted, respected sources for news updates on current affairs as they affect global Africa.
Schengen Story magazine is an African international bi-monthly magazine based in Milan, Italy, and founded in 2016. The publication focuses on personalities, fashion, style, entrepreneurship, and culture for Africans. Though articles on food, movies, fitness, music, travel, sports, technology, and books are also featured. Our lives full of best stories. A lot can happen in a month. Expand your mind, change your world. Get Schengen Story magazine's full editions. Celebrate an Africans make an impact. Read better, the inside story. Your fashion magazine for a better lifestyle. Inspiring stories for you. Your monthly dose of entertainment. A better mind keeping you updated.
Hashtag Schengen Story magazine. Get Schengen Story magazine full editions.
Yes, Schengen Story. Good morning. This is the other arm of Schengen Story, the SSM News Update. Wednesday, the 11th of June. We are here on our news update. I'm here, my Godwin Iwejo in Milan, Italy. Hope my coordinators will join from the other part. Yes, you're welcome. You are welcome. Beautiful day out here. We have some news flying updates running through. Elon Musk bows to Trump. Tesla boss admits the posts he sent out attacking the president went too far. Elon Musk bows to Trump. So this is one of the latest updates we're getting here. Elon Musk bows to Trump. He says, I regret some of my posts about Donald Trump last week. They went too far. Elon Musk wrote this message on his social media platform X Wednesday morning. So Elon Musk has bowed to the president. I mean, yes, it's he went too far, and we know you can't fight with the powers that are that be. I mean, nobody goes against a political administration. It's not an easy thing to do. So, well, this is the updates we're getting. You're tuning into Schengen Story, Wednesday, 11th June, 2024. And I'm here in Milan. So let's see if our coordinators will join us. But before then, let's get into some small ads.
In a world where news flies around every minute, you need the ability to relate and connect with what matters and stay up to date. Schengen Story Media News Echoes program is Africans in Diaspora and at Home's leading English news network, one of the most trusted, respected sources for news updates on current affairs as they affect global Africa.
Ogbeni Olayinka Raji,
At your service,
can
sir.
you hear me? Yes,
Very
at the
clearly.
point I thought you probably had some other engagements on the other side. You're welcome. Welcome to Wednesday Friday, African updates. How are you doing, big brother? How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Very, very well.
Good. Yes, you're welcome. So I just did a small breaking news. Elon Musk, the Tesla boss, the X-man, the everything, you know, he has all the businesses. He bowed to President Trump this morning, Wednesday morning. He came to his X platform and wrote, I regret some of the posts I did about President Donald Trump last week. He said it went too far. So this was what Elon said this morning. So as a breaking news, what will you say about that, Raji? Is it mhm.
Sometimes adults can misjive, can misbehave. Sometimes, but when they are matured enough, yes, you find that, oh, I said so much. Anything said out of anger makes a person almost a fool. The Holy Book tells you that anger is from the bosom of fools. So you have to be very, very careful the words you say out, because the moment you say them out, they can never be taken back. But then it also takes a very strong person, having said something that may be hurtful to other people, probably out of anger, comes back to say, I'm sorry. And I think that's what Elon Musk had just said, had just done. Yes.
Yes, two strong words you use. But also anger is part of human nature. We all get angry, and
Yes.
one of the instruction the Holy Book says is, don't let your anger go down on don't let the sun go down on you when you're angry. So that means realizing yourself as soon as possible matters, even when we get angry.
Mm.
And I think that's what Elon has done. You said that's well. Also, but let's look at it from the business point of view. Don't you think Elon's businesses are falling? Shares are going down because immediately he made this announcement this morning. For example, we heard his Tesla share in Frankfurt in Germany just boom went up again. You know, so could there be business angles to this? Has he looked and said, listen, I'm losing? Remember the EV arrangement Trump also had against automated and all that plan with vehicles. So could this also be as a result of businesses he has?
Yes and no. When you are dealing with somebody as a mercurial in nature as Donald Trump, you have to be very careful.
Okay.
The man seems to be able to be vengeful in some all the things he does, especially with his attack on the universities and things. And we hear so many things as the reasons why he's attacking the universities now. You have to be very careful, very, very careful. And a powerful man will always be able to bring down a rich person. If you are powerful, you can come against any rich person. You can bring that rich person down. So
Down.
yeah, there may be some financial considerations on the part of Elon Musk. But then yes, but then it's good. It's a good thing for him that he has a good sense to apologize and to say, okay, I might have gone too far, too far.
Now, let's look at it also a little more. Raji, most times people do have these issues with when it comes to some decisions some countries make on businesses and some other things. But at the end of the day, we realize that the majority matters and not a man's interests. Elon is just one man. I mean, you can't speak for all of the Americans, for example, about 300 and something of them there. So, yes, realizing what he has done is key, and he also should know that he can't go against the instituted authority and the populace. What do you say?
Now you know that the majority you are talking about is
Okay.
very, very, very rather ephemeral, because
Okay.
a single rich person can control oil over the world globally. And considering the position,
Single rich person can
yes,
control.
considering the importance of EV in world economics now, and Elon with all his technological advancements, you can't push him off, even as one person. And you can't put one person, you can't put him, for instance, against 299 million Americans who are
Mhm.
essentially not as influential or as rich as he is. So
Mm.
yes,
Mm.
he's reputed to be the richest man on earth,
Yeah, that's
and his
that's
wealth, yes, and his wealth may be more than that of 200 million Americans
put
combined.
together.
Yes, put together.
Whoa, strong ones there. But Raji, let's crop it up. Let's say this one. Let me add this one. Do you think now it will be business as usual from like it was at the beginning, the two of them? Do we now expect to have um, some new, because with that initial breakdown of their relationship, take note, there was also some breakdown in other things. Also, we had the astronauts that were left, that were supposed to be brought back by Elon's company, the Tesla X spacecraft. They had to now. He said he won't be doing that. So there was that fear of those people being stuck again, like the last two that went and were stuck in space. So do we now see business coming back, things happening again, and these people bringing back some, some engagement, good engagement to the economy and to America and to the world? Because
I do not think that Elon Musk would have held the American NASA to ransom.
okay,
Something might have happened that, but I do not think that it's because of his disagreement with um,
Trump.
Trump that he was now threatening not to be involved in NASA. His
Mhm.
business is involved. His
Yes,
business
no.
is
What
involved.
actually happened was he nominated a SpaceX engineer to head NASA. NASA, yes. So that nominee was rejected. Trump didn't do that. So that I also added. That was part of what also added to, with other disagreements and all that. So um, what I am thinking is business will come back. What do you say? Because now they are back, if we could put it like that, and um, good old jolly friends. I had some good
They,
ideas they
they
were
were
doing.
they were
Mhm.
not good jolly friends. They have never been good jolly friends. It's because of politics and whatever both of them tended to gain from Elon's support and from Trump's uh, support of Elon's businesses. So when they came to a mutual to a righteous parting of ways,
Mhm.
uh, they both at least Elon has realized that look, he needs to work with government because no matter how rich you are, if you
Mhm.
cannot go against uh, the president of the United States, who
Mm.
holds who holds the cards for most of what happens in the economy of the United States, and therefore
Mhm.
the economy of the world.
Mm.
So it is only good for him that he should find a way back to friendship with Trump. But their relationship was never hunky dory before, and
Mm.
with their spiff, I think it will now be very very cautious between them. How they deal with each other will now be more cautious.
More conscious. Wow, thank you very much. Viewers, you are listening to Raji Olayinka from Lagos, Nigeria. We're here on our Wednesday African Updates, SSM. Thank you for that. So, viewers, it's the breaking news of Trump. Elon bowing down to finally bows to Trump. Tesla boss admits that post he made in the past about the president went too far. So he's coming down from all of those comments. He says he regrets.
Sorry,
Go
man.
ahead.
When,
Yeah.
when you use words like bow, you see, in their own sphere, it's not a matter of capitulation. It's a
Okay.
matter of realizing a step, and it's not necessarily bow. It's just apologizing. Yes.
He's just apologizing. But I mean, literally, that's like saying, "I bow to you." You know, you. That's how it looks to us when we see such things. Okay, that's a good one. Thank you, Raji. Raji, let's also respond. Let's talk about when we talk about powers, authority, leadership. Also, in our country, Nigeria, our president Bola Ahmed Tinubu made some comments. Let's see that comment he made.
You know, they can say whatever they want to say. They can throw all the jabs and gibberish that they want. We are a party strongly determined to fulfill our dreams of turning Nigeria to a very progressive, highly developed, prosperous country.
Strong words, Raji, if you ask me. Strong words are very giving like more like a reassurance and optimistic words of coming from the president. But the question now is, are these words, can we count on this? Can we hold on to these things he has said, that they are turning around the economy, turning around Nigeria for good? Can we really bet on this? Can we say our president knows what he's doing? Raji.
Those words are just empty words. Gaseous, nauseous words that hold no substance, even from the person who is speaking it. Because the facts on ground doesn't show any hope for the people of Nigeria in those words. Yes.
The facts on ground doesn't hold any hope for the people of Nigeria.
No.
Oh, dear. Those are that's a strong one coming from you too.
I don't know what dreams he's having, whether they are actually dreams or something. But his dreams seems to be like nightmare to the Nigerian people.
Oh dear. His dreams seems to be like nightmare to the Nigerian people. But for him to say what he's saying, he absolutely understands. I mean, he's very coherent. He's articulate at those statements. He's not like just saying things. He's putting the words well. Normally, Tinubu, we know that he's not as coherent as this, you know. So for him to come out boldly, make this affirmation, boom, boom, boom. I mean, it gives some level of assurance to the ears hearing it. Raji.
So what dreams is he going to describe to a dying man, a man who can see his children starving because of the hardship that he's facing? So whatever dreams he's talking about seems to be like nightmare to Nigerians. You come into an economy, you say the economy is bad. What you inherited was very, very bad. And yet you are spending money as if money is going out of business. You are making pronouncements, you are embarking on projects that add no value to the people. Because I do not see the value in a 15 trillion coastal highway when more than 90% of internal roads are in very, very serious states of disrepair. I don't see any hope, any dream from him. That when I look at the amount of money they have spent to renovate the vice president's residence, over 12 billion naira, over 4 billion in rehabilitating or whatever Dodan barracks, where they hardly ever stay. I don't see how the dream in it when we see that 70 billion has been given to the National Assembly just to buy vehicles. I don't see any dream that he can tell me about from him when I see that one of the first things he did was to change the spend more than 25 billion on a presidential jet, or more than 20 billion on a new Maybach, and more than 100 billion on vehicles and things for his entourage.
Okay, Raji. Yes, the billions are just so much. But talking about refurbishing and rehabilitating buildings, one of the building he has rehabilitated is that International Conference Center in Abuja. And what we heard is that's a very that's a big landmark for Nigeria, a big structure. Rehabilitating that structure, does it bring much good to us? And he also declared that people will no more have to state governors will no more have to use there without the permission of the government. People won't just be using that structure anyhow. Right.
What they use in the government, looking at a structure, dilapidating, and then they spend billions to rehabilitate it, and then they name it after themselves.
Mm.
You know, look, it is quite troubling to me when I see a country that is going and borrowing. We borrow $5 billion and we don't see whatever is done with it, whatever infrastructure that you say you are going to provide. You don't see anything about infrastructure. And then you see you spending money anyhow. The International Conference Center, was it in such a bad state? How did it come to such a bad state? If it's a facility that's regularly used, why was it being given out for free? Why was it given out for free in the first instance? Now that you now have to spend billions to rehabilitate it. There's a case in point that still saddens me. That's the National Stadium in Surulere. It is an eyesore. It's an eyesore. I would have thought that any reasonable government who has the who takes the buildings and the facilities of government serious will not allow the National Stadium go to seed.
When you go
to the to Teslim Balogun Stadium across the road, it is very active and it is very well maintained.
Okay, Raji, hold on there. What we're saying is very crucial, and our viewers are listening. Also joining us from Toronto, Canada at this point is our big man, George Chukwu. George, you are welcome, Big George.
Well, good morning, Massive Mark, and good morning, Ola Encourage. Viewers around the world, good morning. Welcome to our Wednesday show.
Nice. Welcome. Gentlemen, before we go on, let me say that I got some back feedbacks from last Monday, and it was beautiful show, good analyzing, good viewpoint from all of you. So I'm saying this, I don't know, so the viewers watching us now, if they were also part of that feedback we got. George, you're welcome. George, Raji is throwing some real strong punches here. We are talking about a lot of things. We started with the breaking news this morning of Elon. I said bowing down to Trump, but Raji said no, I shouldn't use that word. But anyway, Elon has apologized, kind of says he regrets all the posts he made about Trump last week. He said he went too far, and we said also immediately he did that statement on X this morning. We saw that the stock rose again. Tesla shares in Germany and some part of Europe, boom, just climbed up again. So, and I was asking Raji, maybe this is also a business move. What do you think about that whole thing, George? Do you think it's some business move, or he really means to decline all the throw back on
Well,
all this?
the point, the truth about it is this. Well, I knew that it wasn't gonna last. I mean, the feud was not gonna last because both of them, like unless you're not a businessman, then that's the only way you will continue with such a feud, because you've seen whenever stuff like that happens, the stocks will go down. Elon Musk is at a losing end, whether you like it or not. He's been at a losing end.
You've always said that,
Everybody's
George.
like
Yes.
everybody's against him. Think about it for a moment. Number one, the whole entire America almost is against Elon Musk. Number two, Trump is the president. He has the executive power. He can make executive decisions that will adversely affect, even worsen his business, and bring him down to his knees. And that's exactly what is happening right now. So it's a business move, it's a strategic move, and also it's a very wise move on his side. So but he better be careful, because if you know the history of Trump is not somebody that will easily forgive somebody who actually publicly goes against him. So, but hopefully, for the benefit of everybody, maybe this is a good idea for them for now. But the question is,
maybe
what drove
this is
him
a
to
good
the point
idea.
where he was? It's a good idea. It's a wise business idea. If he continues like this, he's lost billions already as it is. Many of his places, many places, many people are going after him. In a lot of his companies, the sales are
Yeah.
down, all
Yeah.
those type of things. So what is he gonna do? So it's a
Okay.
wise business idea.
It's good. It's good. We heard your viewpoints, George. George, also one of the news is that very assuring words from our president, Nigerian president Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Let's hear that, George. So you tell us what you think.
They can say whatever they want to say. They can throw all the jabs and gibberish that they want. We are a party strongly determined to fulfill our dreams of turning Nigeria to a very progressive, highly developed, prosperous country.
Nice. Okay.
Well,
It's on George this time. George, hearing this, like I said, this sounds very reassuring, optimistic. Any dead man that probably hears this will rise up and say, "Hey, our president knows what he's doing," because we know that most times our president is not coherent in his words. He speaks and sometimes you don't understand what he's saying. But this came out clear, crystal clear, very bold. George, what do you think about this comment, this statement from the president?
Mr. George.
listen. Number one. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I think we have a lag. We have a lag. We have a lag with. Okay, go ahead.
Tinubu 2 years. He had to prepare for this. Number one. He had to make sure, and he was prepared for this particular speech, whether we like it or not. And it was absolutely necessary for the life of APC, because number one, he's been emboldened. Why is so? Well, all of a sudden, a bunch of people are jumping from other parties into his party, especially from PDP into his own party. So, no, what he is doing is what he's supposed to do as a politician. We have seen so far that since the inauguration, all they have done is nothing but power speeches whereby if you come against them, they come against you, they slash you, they just put you down. So what the president did was a political move, and a very strong one indeed. But at the end of the day, is there true substance to what he is saying? That is the main question we need to ask. Is it just a political narratives and a good oratory that we are all going to say, oh yeah, he spoke well? Yes, it does increase the motivation. It does increase, the people's hope, because he came out, he spoke very strong. But at the end of the day, go to the streets in Nigeria, talk to the middle class, talk to the, to the lower class, talk to most of them and ask them, this president said this, how does that feel to you? In his 2 years of presidency, what would you say? How has that affected you, in your livelihood, in your business, in your family? The same thing will come out of everybody's mouth. Now he's talking about inflation easing, oil and gas sector recovering with over 8 billion in new investment, fiscal deficit reduced from 5.4 to 3%. Nigerian external reserves, grown from 3.2, from 4 billion to 23 billion. Listen to me. If fact checkers check all these things and it is true, we're gonna clap for Tinubu. One thing that I said last when we were discussing something like this was this. It looks as if things are easing up. Things are getting, it looks as if, but it's not affecting the lower class yet. It is not affecting everyday Nigerian, whereby they can boastfully say, well, things are better for me. He talked about rice going, the price of rice going down. And then Nigerian, what they did with the central bank, discontinued central bank's ways and means, overdraft to curb inflation. So all these things are things that they did. And hopefully, what we're saying, hopefully, it will trickle down to the common man. So these are the things that we really, really, because number one is, we have seen it with other nations where somebody like President Trump can come and say, make a statement, but at the end of the day, fact checkers will check and say it is not. Over 6 trillion revenue recorded in the first quarter of 2025. Debt services to revenue reduced, to below 40%. Tax GDP into a ratio increased from 10% to 13.5%. So all these things are great news. But all we are saying is this. Fact checkers need to check these things, ensure that all these statistical analysis, they are correct. And if it is, kudos. Kudos. But he needed to do this. It was necessary for him. Are we there?
He needed to do this. It was necessary for him. Thank you, George. George, that was loud and clear. You did that. You could also fact check. You also have that power.
Yeah, definitely. We will do that.
And,
we will definitely do that.
Yes, so that we can do. All right, Raji, do you have anything to say? We want to go on a small break. You want? Go ahead.
There's nothing you cannot do with statistics. Statistics, you can always say, put up statistics to buttress your point. And the same statistics can be used to destroy your point. But when the time comes to become, like they say, how are the people feeling? Your economy may be blooming, and the children and the people may be dying, and the children, the people are dying, the children are starving, malnourished, and growing up undernourished.
Malnourished, growing up undernourished.
Listen to this.
George, you know what?
What Raji is saying, I know we're going on a break, but what Raji is saying, in other words, is exactly the same thing that I'm saying.
That's
just
correct.
spitting out analysis and spitting out all these things, it's so easy to do. But the truth of the matter is, in investigation and what you call, proper in-depth statistical analysis, it might not turn out to be the same thing. Because we have seen that this particular administration, unfortunately though, Unfortunately, they have lied a lot in a lot of areas. And I'm not talking about Tinubu, I'm talking about his little goons that are working with him. They have lied a lot. And they know how to do it. So that's it.
His little goons working with him.
Why is exonerating the president himself? He's the leader of the
Well,
party.
because the president doesn't speak much.
Okay.
But he just spoke.
Yeah, no,
He's the
he
one
spoke
that
this.
spoke.
No.
This
What
time.
he did. Okay, check what the president said. If you check what he said, he was very, very. All he's saying is motivating the nation. To that renewed hope. I wouldn't call what he said a lie. I wouldn't. He is encouraging people, to measure the truth and the facts about what he said. It's easy. It's easier to measure the statistical analysis that they pen down versus what he said. What he said is, don't worry, they will always come against us. They will always, fight against us. But, we are strong. We are resilient. We are moving forward. The nation is getting better, and it will get even better.
Right.
So,
all right, George. Let's do a minute or two break. Viewers, you're tuned into Wednesday SSM African updates, and it's a beautiful outing here with the gentlemen. All right, a little break, gentlemen. Thank you.
SSM's Wednesday Global Africa program brings to you our news stories, exclusive reporting, and SSM perspectives on the day's top news. Plus, the inside scoop on Africa's most important developing stories. Join us on Wednesdays, 11 a.m. West African time. In a world where news flies around every minute, you need the ability to relate and connect with what matters and stay up to date. Schengen Story Media News Echoes program is Africans in diaspora and at home's leading English news network, one of the most trusted, respected sources for news updates on current affairs as they affect global Africa.
Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. Though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerian soul, are proud to serve our sovereign motherland.
This is everything you need to marry a Nigerian girl. Her father gave me a list of 39 items which include a live goat. The first place I went was the bulk food market to gather the yam, palm oil, baskets of fruit, and dried fish known as ABUJA. And it's not just one yam or liter of palm oil, I am buying large quantities. It was pouring rain and I rented boots to make it through the mud, but it is worth it to marry my beautiful bride. In Nigeria, they practice dowry for marriage, paid to the family. In the Yoruba culture, each item is symbolic and not really a payment to the family, but rather proving your worth to marry her. And prove it I did by next heading to the goat market, where I spoke with a house of men to find the meatiest goat. This is the one I picked, and surprisingly, the goat at only $40 is one of the cheapest items on the list. This can't be done in one day, so after the rain cleared, I went to Mushin Main Market to find the kola nut, both bitter and regular, the alligator pepper, the adun, which specifically said I needed to buy plenty, and bottle of raw honey, which symbolizes that our marriage will be sweet. Next, I had to gather biscuits, bulk packs of different drinks, wine, and semen schnapps, as well as a suitcase full of new clothes for my fiancé to prove I can provide for her in the marriage, and lastly, the marriage Bible, as God will always come first. It is possible to pay someone to buy these items, but for me, I wanted the experience myself. Finally, we brought all these items to the family home for the wedding day. It is not easy to marry a Yoruba girl, but my bride is strong, smart, loving, beautiful, and completely worth it. This country has some of the most extraordinary culinary diversity in the world. I'm talking about Nigeria. This first dish is amala abula, made popular by the Yoruba people in southwest Nigeria. It starts with amala made from dried yam and then is covered in a variety of soups. Next we have ofe nsala, a white soup that is synonymous with the Igbo people of southeastern Nigeria. It goes best with fufu, or akbo as the Igbos call it. Next we have suya, the most well-known food of the Hausa and Fulani people of northern Nigeria. Meat is covered in a peanut-based powder called yaji and cooked over an open fire. This is banga and starch, a classic of the Orobo people of Delta State. Lastly, we have onunu, a plantain-based swallow of the Izom people in South Nigeria. We are eating it with fisherman soup, popular throughout this whole region. And of course, we don't forget the jollof rice. This is popular everywhere in Nigeria. I think what makes Nigeria so great is the diversity of all the different people coming together. These beautiful ethnic groups living side by side, sharing culture and cuisine is what makes Nigeria such an amazing country to visit. Nigerians should be so proud of that cultural heritage, as there is so much more that unites than divides them.
All right, viewers, we're back. We're back on Wednesday African Updates. I'm here with George from Toronto, Canada. I'm here with Raji from Lagos, Nigeria. Gentlemen, something is brewing in ABUJA again. Wike, that Lord, Lord of a ring, Lord of ABUJA. Well, the news we're getting is that there might be some diplomatic problems that will arise because Wike is sealing up embassies in Abuja in Nigeria, and they say he's also probably violating Vienna Convention and diplomatic relationship between those countries. Let me start with you, Raji. You're there. But if somebody is owing house rents, you need to pay up. I mean, the embassies can be in our land and not paying their land rent. What do you say, Raji?
See, the position of the placement of the embassy extracts it from the country and place it in the nation that has that embassy. So that embassy is actually, if it's a United States embassy, that embassy grant is actually United States territory. That's by a Geneva Convention. If Wike is supposed to be a lawyer, and I think you should know that whatever you are going to do, you have to do it with diplomatically, and not go about like a drunken sailor, threatening to seal off their premises. Something like that has happened with the Nigerian embassy in the UK, and everything was done with diplomacy until the usual Nigerian attitude forced it to escalate to a point where the British government probably threatened to lock up the embassy. But for embassies, no, there should be some finesse. There should be some finesse and should be diplomatic considerations before you start threatening.
George,
Yes.
you heard what Raji was saying.
Yeah. You see, Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes. So what we're looking at now is also that violation of an agreement that Vienna, that Austria Vienna Convention they had on diplomatic ties and all that. So some lawyers are coming out to say Wike should take it easy because this might start up something that the country Nigeria might not be able to handle. So are you looking at it from that side, George?
It's a function of ignorance on Wike's side. And it's a function of sycophancy to please your Lord. That's all it is. Because if he was wise, he should have studied this and understand the way diplomatic relationship happens with countries around the world. There is no single country that pays rent. Nigeria does not pay rent in Canada. They don't pay land fees in Canada. Neither is there any other country that charges such, because it's according to that Vienna Convention, that took place many years ago. Many countries are obeying it, and as a matter of fact, Nigeria is in such a dire state. They have not sent any ambassador, high commissioner out to almost all the countries around the world. It took Buhari how many months to do so? Even up until today, as we are speaking, many Nigerian embassies are suffering. They are suffering simply because if there is a retaliation, I can guarantee you that almost all of the embassies around the world will be closed down. Nigerian embassies will be closed down. Because the embassies around, especially the one here and in the US, they are crying. Money is not coming to them. They are not doing their functions well. So, the man needs to be very, very careful. He's talking about the major defaulters since 2014. He said the accumulated debt that is owed is about 3.36 million or 66 million naira. How much is that? Okay, Indonesia is owing 1.7. What do you call it? Zambia High Commission is owing 1.18. Equatorial Guinea is owing 1.13. Venezuela is owing 459,000 naira. Listen to this. Is it very possible that this rent has already been paid and a snake swallowed the money? Because Russia is saying we don't owe you anything. We are up to date. A lot of countries are coming out and saying we are up to date. You're putting us on the debt, but we already paid. We are up to date up to 2024 and 2025. So the question is, if they need to go back and cross-check and make sure that what they are saying is correct. Because what they're trying to do is to make these countries look bad, especially if they have already paid. And that will expose a whole lot of problems to for Nigerians. So that's one of the things that this man needs to pay attention. Under the Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations of 1961, okay, which Nigeria and most countries are party to, embassies and diplomatic missions enjoy specific immunity. They don't pay taxes. Even local taxes, they are immune from it. Exemption from local taxes and duties, including property taxes, ground rent that he's crying about on properties and used for official purposes. So these things are things that an intelligent individual, before you even come out to say something, do your research, do your background check, ensure that you are on a positive ground, and ensure that the move you're making, you're not going to shoot yourself on the foot, because that's what you are seeing here. Nigeria is not paying rent in most of these countries. They are not. So this man needs to take a step back, backslide, go and make sure that he investigates to ensure that Nigeria is not going to end up losing at the very end and looking so bad.
Entering into some diplomatic role. Yes, George, you talked about Russia. Of a truth, the Russian government came out and said that's the Russian building there. The one on your left, then the one on your right is the Ukrainian embassy right there in Abuja. These two countries have also come out to say they're not owing any rent.
You see, can you imagine that?
Yes. So we don't know how Wike is going about this whole calculation. But one thing I know is the man likes to flex his power, So sometimes out of nowhere, he'll probably just start something up to make people see that he's the boss. Anyway,
maybe his 10-year-old whiskey has been diluted with something else.
Anyway, some lawyers also came up to say, please, Wike, avoid diplomatic problems for Nigeria. Falana is leading that council. They said, in fact, this morning or by next week, they will start sealing some of these embassies, and that would be real embarrassing.
Okay, listen. Can I say something? If you step foot, listen to this. If you step foot on any ground that belongs to another country, you are violating the Vienna Convention of 1961. Number two, that particular ground belongs to that country. Just the same way Your country, your embassy in their country belongs to you. So if he ever attempts to do that, watch and see what's going to happen. And he might end up losing his position. I'm being honest with you. I believe that the president must have already called him and warned him about this.
Well,
Because
we
the
hope.
FCTA enforcement may strain diplomatic reciprocity, if not handled delicately. Right now, it is very, very vital that he come out and say, we are just say some political talk, something like, okay, we are looking into it, we're not sealing any embassy, because this is very embarrassing, especially for countries that have, that make sure that their money are paid, or whatever dues that they're supposed to be paid or they have never paid because of the Vienna Convention of 1961. So that is exactly what needs to be.
Sealing an embassy is entirely out of the question.
You
cannot
can't do
seal
that.
any embassy.
If you step foot there, they actually can send military men after your own country, because it is a declaration of war.
Serious issue here, viewers. Well, our president gave them some grace. Bola Ahmed Tinubu gave a grace period to all of those defaulters. But even though that period is also, I think, is almost close. But I heard the sealing might begin next week. So, viewers, these are important issues that we need
Nigerian
to all
properties, not embassies.
Not the embassy.
Their properties, yes.
Okay, Nigerian properties.
Yes, not embassies. You better not touch any embassy. You better not do that.
Okay. Gentlemen, before we begin to round up, let's give one international. Today is not Friday, but let's just do this Friday, this international update. The 21-year-old gunman that killed 11 people in Austria. I don't know. It's getting too much. Austria has become another, after America and some other South American countries. I think Austria is leading in such assaults, such killings, and most times in schools. Let's see a clip before we come to the story again. So what you're seeing there, viewers, is the classroom that this young man, 21-year-old, an old student of the school, stormed into that secondary school and fatally shot 11 people before also turning the gun on himself. He killed himself in the process before the police will come. So this has plunged Austria. Austria is here in Europe, Western Europe. This has plunged Austria into mourning. The country is experiencing another deadly attack, and it doesn't look good at all. So that's the picture you're seeing there, the eclipse, student running, everybody taking a dodge and running for their lives. George, how are you people seeing from Canada?
Well, we are seeing it because that's something that really happens here. You see a lot of it in many countries, like in the US and stuff like that, but hardly we don't have such things here. So this particular former student of whatever, I don't know how to pronounce the name. I try to learn how to pronounce that name, but all I know is a secondary school in Graz, Austria. That shot about 7 people, 7 students among them, 12 injured, 21-year-old former student, I took his own life after. This is one of the, things that really, it will not help you to understand, the motivation behind the crime. So after they do all these things, they kill themselves. And it's really, really too dangerous. And you're seeing a lot of it happen these days because of the Gen Zs and Gen Ys, and because of despondency, and partially simply because of upbringing. Most of the time, it's because of upbringing. Because if you train up a child in the way that they should go, when they grow old, they will never depart from it. And when you allow a child to be the dictator in your household, telling you what to do, what not to do, and threatening you, they're going to call the government and they will take them and put them in foster homes. And then parents are just muted and handicapped. That is the reason why this is happening. Go to any nation that allows discipline their children. You will never see this. I was in a shop one time and I saw this child, cussing out the mom. And I couldn't take it. And I went to the child and I didn't say a word. And I started looking at him like, what are you doing? And he stopped. You will not believe this. I didn't say a word. When I walked out, the woman paid and went outside, waited for me. When I came outside, she's like, you should never do that to my child. I said, look at how despicable you are. Tomorrow, this child will go and kill a police officer and his life will be ended. You become a childless mother. Look at you. Aren't you ashamed? And I started telling her, I said, get away from here. Go and train up your child. And that's exactly what you are saying. I didn't say a word. I just looked at the child. Why are you using such foul language in a grocery store? Cussing, shouting. Immediately I looked at him, he stopped. And the mom had to come to talk to me. So this is exactly what you are seeing all over the place. Children are not being trained. They're not being disciplined. They're allowed to think the way they want, do what they want, whenever they want it. And this is the resulting consequences of that.
But it's crazy that the mother had to attack you. I thought she was coming to thank you.
Oh, that's what I thought. I thought she was waiting to say thank you. No. It's like you should never do that to my child again. And I let her have it. Because I already know what is going to happen eventually with that type of... I'm talking about 8 years old. 8 years.
Okay.
8 years.
Raji, how did you hear that news? Austria. George, it's 11. In fact, this morning it's been confirmed that it's 12.
It's 11, yes. 11, instead of 10, yes.
It's quite saddening. And my condolences go to the families who lost dear ones.
Very unfortunate. Very unfortunate.
Very unfortunate.
Have you guys spoken about Atiku and the
Yes. Let's do a little on that. Let's do a little on that again. We've spoken on that. Yes, we hear that real serious comments coming from some of the PDP politicians. Raji, yesterday's own was Fayose, the one-time governor. He's saying that soon PDP, that political party in Nigeria, will become he used the word, it will become Carcass. That's a dead party. So Raji, what do you say? What do you think about that? Is PDP becoming a dead party?
A party in Nigeria, for instance, the way it is set up, needs people to finance it. And when the party is not in government, there's no free money to finance the party. The main financier of PDP happens to be the whiskey guzzling FCT minister, Wike. Wike is neither APC nor PDP. We don't know whether it's a PDAC or whatever. And Wike is not ready to spend money on PDP, even though I understand that he called for a PDP meeting of about 35 states to meet with him. I don't see how he's going to salvage the body of PDP and make it any respectable party at the moment. Especially with, I understand that those who could also have financed it, like the governor of Akwa Ibom and the governor of Bayelsa, both of them are, and the governor of Delta, all of them are being rumored to be moving towards APC. So a party without any financing is essentially going to be empty. It's very sad.
George, is it about financing or more about
it's more about there is a decay that is going on inside. It all started when Obasanjo had told Jonathan, allow the election to go the other way. Is a deal that was made prior to you getting in. A promise was made to the North. When Jonathan insisted on going for the second term of his real election and insisted on doing so, Obasanjo came out openly and tore his card. Nobody knew why he tore his card. He tore his card as a military man. He made a promise that needs to be fulfilled. Eventually, Obama was able to fulfill that. That was the beginning of the fall of PDP. Now, secondly, they were on a lifeline. Yes, they were. They were holding up as a formidable party, the second strongest party in Nigeria, until Atiku Abubakar. Understanding the PDP in Nigeria has been in turmoil since that Obasanjo situation. Until since Atiku Abubakar ignored the clear zoning understanding that the presidency should return to the south after 8 years of Buhari's of tenure. Despite knowing that a northern candidate would face resistance from the south, Atiku bulldozed his way to the PDP ticket, sidelining a popular southern candidate, Peter Obi, who could have become the nominee, but he made sure that he pushed him out. This is exactly what is happening with PDP. PDP will end up like what Fayose is saying, as a dead end, a dead zone. It will end up that way because a lot of people, there are no ideological differences between parties in Nigeria. So it's easy for one to just jump over. And most people are jumping over for their political life to be saved. That's all it is. So think about it for a moment. Today, what remains of PDP is a weakened, scattered shell, haunted by one man's ambition and betrayal of equity. That's what it is. So we have to blame Atiku for this mess that is going on. And if he continues this way, PDP will end up becoming a non-entity in Nigeria. Straightforward.
In Lagos State yesterday, their usual governorship candidate, Jandor, collapsed the whole PDP structure and moved it into APC. So
can you imagine? Can you imagine?
Speaking today, there's no PDP at all in Lagos State. And his accusation was that the PDP has ensured that it always loses an election. PDP is not interested in backing her own candidate to win elections. The party that cannot win election will have to cease to be a party.
If you, I'll encourage you. If you remember, during the political campaign of Jonathan, you remember that when he was going for the second term in Nigeria. If you pay attention and go back and remember, PDP did not rise to do anything. It was only as a result of that weakened state and inability to move. What Mama P did was to start Transformation Ambassadors of Nigeria. And that was when Ifeanyi Uba took over as the chairman and then brought life back into PDP to a degree. But after that, it was done. It was over. And it's still sinking right now.
Okay. We hope that, but you see, for me, all of them are the same. You know, no, like we've always said here, no ideology, no aim, no. It's all so PDP, APC. So that's why we some new parties are coming. There's the young new party that's making waves now. ADC is coming. Gentlemen, let's close up with something good from on the entertainment scene. I know George is always there to follow up. There's a young Nigerian lady called Arista.
Sabige no de too like talk.
Okay. That's Arista on the screen there. She yes. What happened on Monday was Arista won the BET award. That the BET award is the Black Entertainment Award in the United States. So she won Best International Art, and that was a good one for the Afro music in Nigeria.
Afrobeat,
yeah.
Yes.
Gentlemen, Arista, Raji, I think she's from Osun State. Is that not so? Is she from?
We have very entertaining Nigerians from Osun State. Osun State is the center of culture.
Wow, nice, nice,
Look at
nice.
Allah, look at Allah, Karachi. Look at you smiling, smiling so big
No,
like that.
I have to be
Man on
proud of
this young lady.
my
I
sister.
know you're
Yes,
very proud, Daddy.
Yeah,
she's been very
yeah.
very good. She's been very very good.
Okay.
She's been rising.
Yeah, so the beautiful one,
Yeah,
she won,
we're
and
very proud of her too.
George, go ahead. Go ahead, George.
Yeah, I'm so proud of her. She's been doing so wonderful. Now,
She's been
when
great.
it comes to entertainment, Nigeria is taking over. Actually, it is taking over. So we are very proud. We just pray that the government will follow suit and bring Nigeria out of this doldrum that we have been in, and let's shine like the Nollywood, let's shine like the superstars like iStar, because if we can follow suit, Nigeria will come on the map again as a country, and all the negative images we have embraced because of politics and other things will just be erased. When Nigeria needs
I would rather
let
want. I would,
Nigeria breathe again.
I rather want the government to take its hands off the entertainment
Are you there, Olayinka?
industry. Yes, I want the government to take its hands off the entertainment industry, because the entertainment industry has thrived in spite of their presence, and they should just leave the artists to develop their own innate things
Yes,
without control
they
from the
have.
government. Because the moment the government comes in, they'll come in with controls.
Mm.
No,
But we are saying government should look into that aspect more, because
doing what?
it's yes.
By doing what?
Uh,
By doing what? What kind of things
okay,
are
by,
they
by
doing?
by pumping more money to the Ministry of Youth, Arts and Culture, put more emphasis on the funding there, and look into regulating it with people that understand that entertainment sector. Most times they
When
will
the
bring one man that has no idea of the entertainment and just make him the head
Exactly,
producer,
exactly.
and he will
That's
follow.
why they should keep off. That's why they should keep off, because all that they will do is bring somebody uh, for political settlement. They will not bring somebody who is really really vested in it. They will just, and then they will start bringing in this federal character nonsense.
Mhm.
So let them
If it
leave
is not
the industry as
if
it is.
if it's not broken, why fix it?
Mhm.
He's been on his own, doing very well. Let's leave
And
them
doing very
alone.
well.
Let them continue to to thrive. Another thing that we need to do is when something like this happens, the Nigerian government ought to do something very important. Maybe
Appreciate.
name a street after her, or do something that it will encourage other youths, to come out and start doing, greater things also like this. So that's all they
Yes.
need to do. Let them leave them alone, because if they get involved, they will corrupt it, they will destroy it.
Yes.
I
Mm.
agree
They'll
with
bring
you, Olai.
politics into it.
Okay, different viewpoints. All right, gentlemen, we have to go. But before we go, there's a funny thing that happened yesterday. In the UK, there was a friendly match between England and Senegal. Now it has never happened in the history of football, even though it was a friendly match. Senegal whooped up England 3-1. 3-1. The English people nobody can believe. So it is, it's almost like also saying it's a new dawn. Africa is coming out again. Africa is taking their place, because these are countries that Senegal.
Senegal of all places. Not even Cameroon or Ghana
What?
or
So
Nigeria.
today the English people are quiet. They are walking with their tails behind them. All right, gentlemen, let's go. Raji, anything you have anything to say before we go?
No, just to wish our viewers a very very midweek grace, that
Thank you.
on Friday we'll come out stronger.
Yes,
Beautiful.
much stronger. George.
Yeah, I just want to wish all the viewers a fantastic and rest of the week, but also that God will continue to bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria and bless our president and all the governors, and grant them the wisdom they need to move this country to where it's supposed to be, so that instead of Japa, there will be another coming back.
Rapper. It will be
Rap,
rapper. rapper.
Yeah, so
Return
that's what we
back.
need.
Return. Yeah,
Return
rapper.
back. Yeah, rapper. So let's stop the Japa syndrome and bring the rapper syndrome back.
Syndrome.
Yes,
Nice.
because we are
Nice.
losing out.
Thank you, George. Thank you, Raji. Thank you, George. Viewers, this is it. We've come, we've done it, and we'll sign out. Have a beautiful midweek until we come on Friday. Bye-bye.
In a world where news flies around every minute, you need the ability to relate and connect with what matters and stay up to date. Schengen Story Media News Echoes program is Africans in Diaspora and at Home's leading English news network, one of the most trusted, respected sources for news updates on current affairs as they affect global Africa.